The Nigerian Exchange Group on Friday, July 15, 2023, held its 62nd annual general meeting at the NGX building, Marina, Lagos. The meeting was facilitated by the chairman of the board, Alhaji Umaru Kwairanga, where he announced that this is the last AGM of Mr. Onyeama as Group Managing Director after serving for over a decade. While speaking at the event, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Exchange, Mr. Temi Pupola, said part of the listing strategy is working with the government to drive listings. He also added that if we can get the ears of the government, a lot of companies will come to the exchange.
How do we get them to our exchange so that we can list these companies in dollars and trade them in dollars, because this brings a lot more benefits to the government who is looking for dollar FX resolution to their challenges. Another challenge that government faces is the issue of government revenues. And if you think about the fact that listed companies pay more taxes, you look at a company like MTN and you look at the quantum of dividends that they paid for our fiscal year 2022, we're trying to work with government to make them realize that the more companies list, the more their revenues will be, because the listed companies are more transparent, they're better governed. So it takes me to the question of how do we drive more listings for this market? How do we bring more companies to the exchange? And it's a two-sided approach. I think Mr. Judua spoke to one part of it, where if the government, if we can get the right ears of government, a lot of companies, through legislation and some sort of government support, will come to the exchange.
On the issue of compliance and regulation, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Exchange Group Regulation, Mrs. Tinuade Awe, said the Nigerian Exchange Group Regulation is working to improve rules and regulations that will encourage listings in the NGX. She also added that they are focused on compliance and are working out guidance for virtual AGMs.
Specifically, whether it's things like the work that is being done with the free trade zone and the rules that will bring these entities to market. They can't just come to market like that. They have to come within the context of some rules. And so we continue to work with the exchange wherever they are going. I think Mr. Okeze, Mr. Boniface Okeze, as well as Mona, spoke about regulation. And Mr. Okeze was concerned that regulation may go on a final bench, which we have not done and do not intend to do, because we're more focused on compliance. And so a lot of the work that we do is around engendering companies to comply. However, when you are a market-focused subsidiary within a profit-making group, it can be an uncomfortable place to sit, because there's always that, I think, balance that you have to find within the effort to develop the market through regulation and the effort to pay the bills through the entities that are focused on profit.
Some shareholders expressed concerns over non-payment of dividends and urged the board to work towards value creation that will translate towards payments of dividends.
We can't spend 15 million and we cannot have the annual report. Thank God today we didn't go outside to do this AGM, and the costs are also been saved by coming here. So that money should go to us. And I'm believing that when shareholders are living here, they must give in something to pull out Oscar, because in the party, not many of them invited. So if there's something arrangement to make them today, you celebrate them. That's how we do in Ashaka. That's how we do other places, you know. We celebrate shareholders, even if it's a souvenir. Because I can't see, you say expenses on the anniversary, celebration of years, whatever. Shareholders are not benefiting. In those days, let's watch, we were giving out from this change. Shareholder was just changing, but I believe Oscar did not do well in that direction. Your relations with the shareholder is nothing to write him about. It's backward.
I want you to improve the exchange, reduce your operational expenses. That is only where we can have dividends. I'm not too comfortable. I know this building too well, like the back of my hand. When Oyeke Okereke was here, before the mutualization. But my dear brother, I have faith in you. I have confidence in you. I know you will do better than you used to do those days. I believe that you will do better by the grace of God. Then, there is a bridge between the management and the shareholder. What is that bridge? The company secretary. She needs to be empowered.
Yes, the bottom line reduced, but we still have opportunity to pay dividend from our retained earnings. The law empowers us to do that. And the retained earnings we have about 31.7 billion. So you can still make payment of that dividend. And I challenge the incoming directors who are present here to take it as a matter of responsibility.
Speaking with WebTV, the chairman of the board, Alhaji Umaru Kwairanga, and group managing director, Mr. Onyeama, spoke extensively on the modalities put in place to further the growth and progress of the group.
What we are doing is to set up some very good platforms. We are looking even beyond Nigeria. We have already demonstrated this at exchange that have the capacity, have the potential to do much more than what we are doing today. You can see where we are making a lot of investment. You can see the lot of expenses that we are looking at so that we can be able to reduce them. Most of the issue raised at today's AGM is about issue of dividend. And we believe it's just a matter of time. We have given awards to the shareholders that we will look inward and make sure that we have increased the pie. It's not just only to reduce the expenses, but to optimize the expenses so that we can be able to have enough staff that can be able to generate more revenue. And we are here to support the management to make sure that we have gotten much more than what we have on ground. There's an improvement from where we are coming from to where we are today. And I want to assure all our investing public, and because this is a national asset. Nigerian Exchange Group is not just like any other organization. This is a national asset that is ready to work with the government, especially with the new government that has already come in on board. We are excited. You have seen the enthusiasm. We are ready to work with all these policies that the new government has come with. And we are ready to partner with them so that we can be able to move not only the exchange, but the economy in general.
Some of them are mature and are now looking to extend their growth. And so it really depends on the companies, right? So for example, NG Clearing, the CCP, just started operations last year. There's an understanding that it will take a little bit of time to break even and then begin to upstream dividends. But the NGX, the exchange, is closer to maturity and therefore should be able to pay dividends. And so we're working with the exchange, for example, to optimize a few processes and clarify how we can upstream dividends from them. There are other entities that are not full subsidiaries that are doing very well, but that are not paying dividends. And so we're also working with those entities to see how we can sharpen, first of all, create dividend policy, sharpen that aspect of the operations, and see how we can upstream that to the holding company and then pass it through to the ultimate shareholders. So there is this is something that is very, very top of mind for the NGX group, and we'll continue to work with the various entities where we have interest to improve value creation.
With Mr. Onyeama stepping down as the Group Managing Director of the Nigerian Exchange Group by March 2024, it is expected that the new management will explore innovative ways to achieve cost optimization, support value creation from subsidiaries, and pay dividends to shareholders.